Welcome to Consider This. Welcome back to our viewers. Today we're talking about, do you want kids? And I think, guys, we listened to Sin and Glenn talking, and do you guys really want kids after we listened to what they were saying?
I don't know, they made it sound so happy.
Yeah.
But can't it be? I mean,
yeah.
Is kids really that bad? I mean, you have a brother. Tell us about your brother. Doesn't he give you joy?
No, he does. The moment he was born, I mean, it was just amazing. From the time you just watch him grow. And I must say, yes, they are right. When you see, a small being who's just like reliant on you, it's amazing. And it drove me to some point. I actually went and taught kids, and I learned that just like you did, that kids do teach you something about yourself.
Yeah.
You learn that if you're not patient, you need to be patient.
Yes, quickly.
They're running around, they're like 5 of them, and you need to, But it taught me a lot.
You learn to pray a lot.
You learn to pray a lot.
Please.
So now, I mean, we as young people, obviously, like they said, there's no parent 101 book that you can just go read.
Yeah.
You only learn to be a parent when you actually have a little baby in your hand and you realize this is it. Yeah. But there must be something that we can do now to prepare ourselves.
But I don't agree now. I think you can read a lot.
Okay.
You can read a lot. There's a lot of good books that you can. Yeah. Obviously, you need the experience, but I think that...
So you can prepare yourself by reading certain books,
yes.
you'd say?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's a lot more than reading these days. There's a lot of ways to find out a lot more about children.
Like what?
DVD.
Guys, we're young, man. There's internet.
Okay. So we should use what we have.
Yes.
Google it. Okay.
Google it.
Yes.
I think the best thing is like to learn from other parents as well. There are many parents out there. They can teach you, even our parents as well.
Yeah.
I mean, we can ask them how they raised us.
Yes.
Then they can help us with 1 or 2 valuable things.
Yeah,
Definitely.
you heard from Glenn and them that when the children are in church and you go in, you just play with one of them, you learn quite a bit. In fact, my mother leaves me with my brother in church, and she's listening to the sermon. But I have to now manage with my brother and tell him about Jesus, and it's really nice that he's excited. I think having kids is a good idea. It has its time, but...
Yeah, but on the other hand, there's a lot of people who wouldn't want kids.
True.
Why not? Why do you think?
Because it's responsibilities, and a lot of people don't want commitment. They just want to be
free.
What's kind of free. It's there's this book called Steps to Christ where this lady writes, and she says, for many the idol that they have is a life of selfish ease, and they don't want that responsibility. So it's easier just to not have kids.
But I mean, talking on kids, like it's all about time adjustment as well. Once a kid is brought into the house, it means you have to stop this, you don't have to do that more often. Yeah. So it's quite a challenge at the same time, but I mean, I teach kids, and sometimes when you see them running around, sometimes they can be naughty that you feel like crushing them, but they are all so sweet at the same time. So.
But that's the interesting thing. When a child comes, it doesn't just come, it comes with love.
Yeah.
So when you give up stuff, you don't give it up because I have to now go.
You want to.
You want to.
Yeah.
It's like yes, you want to be with the child.
So when you have a child or children, you gain more than what you lose, actually.
Yes.
The love and the responsibility.
There's a new sort of love.
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. I think it's a good idea. I'm considering having children.
Not
at its time.
Okay, first we get married.
You have to get married.
The right steps.
Right.
And that's what Glenn and Cindy spoke about as well. Yes. Having the right friends, your parents assisting you, going through the right thing, getting ready, preparing yourself. But it is a good thing, and you learn a lot from Christ as well.
Yes.
You learn from him. Now, just tell me this. If we were young people now, today, and the viewers looking at us, what would you guys say to them as young people to prepare yourself for kids?
Wow.
Well, I'll just advise them to really think about what they want, to really consider it if they want, and try to get all the information on it and learn the right way.
Yeah. I would also just say, you need to plan. Because if you fail to plan, you plan to fail.
Yeah,
exactly. That's
so
true.
You just need to sort it out. Just plan, organize your life, do things, the right way, and everything should fall into place.
You shouldn't just rush into it.
No, there's no rush.
It's the same as everything in your life as a step.
Yes.
And the more you plan for it, I mean, obviously you can't plan for anything or everything in life. Some things just happen.
Yeah.
But I mean, you should plan for these things. It is a great responsibility to have a child and to care for a child. But in a way, you should also plan for it, be ready, read those books.
Yeah, like if you look, there are so many kids who blame their parents today simply because they did not plan for them. And it can be really bad for those kids because, I mean, the world today is very harsh. They are facing so many things. So if we should plan for those kids because, I mean, we should look ahead. We should look to the future. That's what we should consider. Otherwise, we will just mess their lives as well.
And that we need, like, I think having a child is the greatest work of evangelism that you have. Like, and that's actually the biggest thing, that you have to spiritually prepare, and that you have to, like we said in our previous show about marriage, that you've got to have those things that you have to overcome in your character before you can actually have kids, because then they're almost going to inherit it if you don't sort your own life out before you have kids.
It's interesting because, you know, if you tell a child about something they don't know, they're always so fascinated. But if you tell the child about Jesus, it's like 10 times more. It's like, you know, the Savior's going to come from, and it's like, for them, it's like, I think it's just the loveliest. It is, you're right. It is the
children, they bring life at the same time. If you ever checked a church without kids, I mean, it would be more like dead. So kids are like flowers. They just bring life.
And I think when you talk to a child, it's like missionary work, like Audrey said. But when you have to explain it to them on that level, you kind of have to think of creative ideas, and it means a lot more for you.
It does.
So kids can be a great blessing. Even now, as a young person, you don't have kids, but working in the church with other kids, and the church will be edified.
That's true.
Definitely.
I like the idea of having children.
So now, the children idea we've spoken about. But what if you're a single parent? Do you think it's a bit harder?
It may be a bit harder,
I think it might be a bit harder.
Financially. But these things you need to pray about.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah.
Just pray about them. God fixes anything. We just give him benefit of doubt, but we just need
it
to
is
pray
harder
about
to raise a child
Financially,
as a single parent, but you can still do it with the aid of the church, and this is
exactly
where it works into, right?
Yeah.
When the young people go and help the people in the church, I mean, single parents will be also affected by that and assisted by that. So we should continue to, as young people, reach into our church, go with the children, help the children. You will be benefited by working with the children, and the church will be edified as well. Definitely.
It really starts now. You can never start preparing for children, like I said before, when you have children. So working with those children, there are those, talking of single parenting, you know, it's not like a disadvantage, because we have to look up to God, our Father in heaven. Because if God can provide to those who have both parents, he can still provide for those who have single parents as well.
Anyway, guys, we've run out of time. Thank you for your contributions. To our viewers, thank you for joining us. We have run out of time, like I've said. We've discussed, do you want kids? We've seen that it is a blessing to have kids. They can learn us, they can teach us so many new things. Thank you for joining us. If you have any queries or you want to send us an email, our details are on the screen.